The Last of Us Season 2 finale just collapsed in front of everyone, and nobody in Hollywood wants to admit it. Now, The Last of Us Season 2 dropped its finale at nearly 5 million viewers from the first season's ending. And they're out here basically pretending that, it's still a hit. I mean, you can't spin a 30% drop from the premiere as a win, yet they're doing it, especially if it's now at 55% drop. Now, The Last of Us Season 2, the finale was supposed to be the emotional payoff for the big climax, but what we got was a disaster of storytelling and a total rejection by fans. And the truth is, well, The Last of Us Season 2, the finale itself, is the moment the entire franchise has actually flatlined. Now, as you all remember, they killed Joel in episode 2, not the finale, not the mid season, episode 2. That move killed the show and the game before it even had the chance to find its footing. And now the fallout is undeniable. Now, The Last of Us Season 2 was supposed to be, the big emotional finale payoff with the climax of the season, but instead of applause, it was just basically met with a collective eye roll. Now, viewers didn't stick around. The show couldn't keep its audience because, well, it didn't, respect its own foundation, even though it didn't really have a foundation. You see, it tossed out its strongest character in favor of narrative subversion, and it backfired, just like it did in a video game. Now, you want to know why fans are angry? Because they've seen this before. They've watched the game go down the same road. Excuse me. The backlash to The Last of Us Part 2 was enormous. People hated the direction, the plot, the choices. So what does HBO do? They double down. They follow the same path that already got burned, and then they act surprised when it tanks. They're facing a brutal reality at this point. That's basically arrogance right there. You see, they're spinning The Last of Us Season 2 by saying, oh, but season 2 is averaging, 37 million viewers per episode over time. But what does that even mean? I mean, are they counting YouTube reviews, TikTok clips, illegal streams? Because the actual numbers are saying something different. It had 3.7 million viewers across all platforms, okay? That's not average. That's a warning sign right there. And still, they claim that it's outperforming season 1. Then why is HBO burying the finale numbers under generic PR fluff about global growth? The Last of Us Season 2 wasn't, some kind of triumphant ending with the season finale. It was basically a whimper. Even Variety tried to put lipstick on this pig, and it still stinks. Now, when you lose nearly half your audience from the first season's climax, I mean, that's just a collapse right there. Okay. Now, what's wild is how much this failure with The Last of Us Season 2 actually mirrors what's wrong with Hollywood right now. You see, all the red flags are there. Subversive, storytelling, forced message driven content, character assassinations, and complete disrespect for the fan base itself. Now, this is basically the poster child for this modern entertainment disease. You see, they didn't they actually made all the bad calls and then pretended that it was bold. I'm not kidding. That's what they really did. Now, Pedro Pascal was the golden goose, and they bet the entire marketing campaign on him. Made him the face of the fan base, and then axed his character almost immediately for episode 2. I mean, who kills off the only character that half the audience actually cared about? Then wonders why no one shows up for it. You see, it's like lighting your own house on fire and asking, why is it cold outside? And now they're shifting everything to focus on Abby, as you all know. You see, that which is the most divisive character in the entire franchise. Now, the fan reaction to her in the game was, overwhelmingly negative. But here we have it again. Hollywood acting like outrage equals engagement. They're banking on controversy to go ahead and fuel season 3, even after the finale made it crystal clear that the audience has had enough. You see, you can't build a franchise on hate watching. Ask Star Wars, you'll find out about it. Now, the difference between season one and season two is night and day. You see, season one, according to a lot of people out there, was tight, emotional, grounded. Season two went full identity politics and half baked storytelling. By the time we hit The Last of Us season two, the season finale, there was no emotional investment left. Okay. Now it's just viewers basically hanging on out of obligation or morbid curiosity. And even that wasn't enough to go ahead and stop the drop off. But what's especially pathetic is just how they're actually using global metrics to hide the truth about The Last of Us season two. They're saying things like 37 million global viewers. Sounds impressive until you ask the obvious question. Where's that number coming from? You see, HBO is not global. Max is not global. So where exactly are they counting? You see, they're fudging numbers to soften the blow, but anyone with a brain can actually see that The Last of Us season two, the finale itself, got obliterated in real time. All right. And that's no surprise right there. But like the game, season one was a cultural moment. And just like the game, season two was a political election, a lecture with a production budget. Basically, the drop in quality was so severe that you could feel it bleeding through the screen. Now, The Last of Us season two, with the finale airing, turned people away from the franchise, and that's the kind of damage that you don't want to come that you don't come back from, especially when season three promises more of the same. Now, even if you're, one of the few defending this mess, I mean, honestly, you just simply can't explain why away or why nearly 5 million viewers drop. That's not fatigue, that's rejection, plain and simple. Okay, especially during the holiday weekend. Now, The Last of Us season two confirmed what millions already suspected. This show is off the rails and heading straight for a cliff. And honestly, the showrunners are actually stumping on the gas right now. Okay, and basically, the worst part is that they knew this would happen. Now, they saw the game's reception. They had years of fan feedback, but they didn't care. The Last of Us season two with the finale wasn't just bad, but basically it was also inevitable. Every decision leading up to it was made in defiance of the fans, not in service of the story. In my opinion, they shouldn't have made this in the first place. And honestly, this is the cause. Ratings in the gutter, viewers walking away, the respect is gone. And now HBO will spend the next year pretending that this is a win. Articles are going to say that, the show is still, quote, critically acclaimed. Now, they'll hype up season three like it's a comeback, but honestly, the damage is already done. Now, The Last of Us, the finale of The Last of Us season two marked the end of any goodwill that this show had left. And that's left now all that's left now is a hollow shell propped up by corporate PR and legacy media denial. All right. Now, honestly, this wasn't a messed up. It was basically sabotage. And The Last of Us season two, with the finale for prove that people are running this industry don't care what you think. They'll take your money, ruin what you love, and smile while doing it all together, and then they'll call it progress. You see, they're simply in the business of just messaging, not entertaining. And when the messaging flops, well, so does the show. Okay, so this is what they get. And if you're wondering whether this franchise can actually recover, I mean, just look at those numbers again: 8.2 million to 3.7 million. That's just a collapse right there. The Last of Us season two, this finale should be the case study in how to kill your own franchise. And unless there's basically a complete overhaul where there's a new direction, new writers, new respect for the fans, season three is dead on arrival. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts or details on it. Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed what was shared in the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.